So a big welcome back to our YouTube channel. The time now is 5:15 in the morning. Today's vlog is going to be all around what I eat a day in the life as a hybrid athlete. So I'm going to take you through exactly my meals. I'm going to be away from home all day, so I'm going to take you through how I prep them, how I make them, and what I do in terms of how I structure my day food-wise. So I'm going to take you right from the start this morning, prepping it all, to boxing it up, to when I'll eat my meals spread across the day. Because in today's video, I've got a 5K easy run to do, and I've also got a weight training session. I am my deload week, so it is an easier session, but I'm going to take you through everything right from the start. So follow along to see what I do. So probably my main meal around lunchtime is going to be 175 grams of mince, 200 grams of potato, 100 grams of stir-fried vegetables, and then 25 grams of reduced sugar sweet chili sauce. So what I'll do is I'll put 175 grams of mince in a pan, and then I'll cut up the potato. So I vary how I cut this up into kind of chips, and then what I'll do then is I'll put these in the microwave. So I will kind of cook them in the microwave for about 6 or 7 minutes, and then I'll put them in the air fryer on max crisp for about kind of 8 to 10 minutes. So that's how I normally do these. Nice and easy, straightforward. I could part boil them, but just for ease, I normally go for just putting them in. And I could have other things like wraps or rice, but what I kind of find is you get the most volume out of potato. So for the amount of food that I get, if I was having a wrap or rice, I'd get a lot less. So whereas potato definitely keeps me the fullest around lunchtime, and generally it is going to be, although not today, going to be my pre-workout meal. So when it is my pre-workout meal, I feel like I'm filling my body up with a lot more food. So I've got 175 grams of mince, and I've got the 200 grams of potato. So what I'll do now is I'll grab a bowl, put the potato in the bowl, and I'll put it in the microwave for about 6 or 7 minutes. Then I'll put the mince on like a medium heat, because what I'll do now is while the potatoes are cooking, I'll cook that off alongside making some of the other meals. So use seasoning. So seasoning is going to be your best friend as well. So some kind of little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I'll put some other seasoning on later down the line. So that is kind of our main meal that's now cooking. So two other easy meals that I have is my post-workout meal and my breakfast meal. So my breakfast meal is going to consist of some whey protein. So that's going to be part of it. So I just take that with me. And then my next meal is going to be 40 grams of oats. So what I'll do is grab a Tupperware, grab the oats, and it's going to be 40 grams of oats, and I'll have this with a little bit of whey protein in, and then I will have 100 grams of frozen berries as well in that meal. And that is breakfast prepared. So this morning I am down at the gym for a little bit, and then my first session of the day is an easy 5K, which will be done fasted. So I'll do that without any food, and then I'll have my breakfast when I get back. So that is that meal that's already prepared. So I said my next meal is going to be Cocoa Pops and pineapple. So I have 100 grams of Cocoa Pops, or Cocoa Snaps from Lidl in this case. That's 100 grams, and then what I'll have is 40 grams of whey protein, again, which I'll take with me. Mixed into that. And then I will grab the pineapple as well. So from experience of how much that is, I know that is around 100 grams, obviously taking the edges off. with having this probably 5 times a week, I know what 100 grams is, so I'll put that in a bag for later as well. So while the mince is cooking, I'll go and get my next bits out that I need, which is going to be the stir fry veg, and then also going to be my intra shake. So intra shake is something that's really important during the session. It's going to be the thing that keeps you fueled throughout, and not many people have it. So I'm going to take you through exactly what I have in my intra shake in a minute. This is also going to be my best friend as well, the portable blender, because it means I can blend protein up like I would in the NutriBullet, but wherever I am, several times a day. So I'm going to get a new shaker out, so I'll give that a wash in a minute. That launch everyone everywhere. So brand new shaker. So in the intra shake, it's definitely more than I've had in previous times, but it definitely helped me feel like I'm fueling my workouts much better. So I always put a little bit of water in the bottom. I'll top it up later, but it just means that it kind of fit once I put my stuff in, the supplements in the bottom, it doesn't all stick to the bottom. So the chips as well are now done in the microwave. So they've been in for about 7 minutes. So what I'll do now is I'll season them as well. A little bit of salt, pepper, paprika, just to improve the taste of them after they've been in the air fryer. Because they're going to taste much better with a little bit of seasoning on. Just wash my hands. And then mix them all up before they go in the air fryer. So that'll go in the air fryer now for about 6 or 7 minutes. On max crisp. So max crisp for about 7 minutes. So in my intra shake, got a couple of different things. So I've got the essential amino acids. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the tropical flavor of that. So I have a scoop of the tropical flavor. Big fan of that one. The amino acids. I'll also put a little bit of the hydrate electrolyte mix in. So I do go for, at the minute, it's pink lemonade. Probably doesn't go too well, but when it's all mixed up, it does taste all right, to be fair. So that's the electrolyte mix. I add the cyclodextrin in there, which is a carbohydrate powder, which again just fills me and fuels me during that workout. So I'll have a scoop of carbohydrate powder. I'll have glutamine, but what I'll do is have that in my morning my protein shake in the morning. Creatine monohydrate, so I'll have a scoop of that in it. As well with the glutamine, the essential amino acids has a little bit of glutamine in there, so I don't have a full scoop of that. I just have a part scoop. Then I'll have acetyl alkalinate, so I'll have a couple of mini scoops in that. And then I've got 2 supplements that I have just before, around 30 minutes before my workout. So that can go on there. And then, that's a full bag. The 2 workouts that I have about 30 minutes before. So I've got citrulline malate, and then I've got beta-alanine that I'll have. So that is my intra shake. And then something I'll have just before is the beta-alanine and the citrulline malate. So it's around 30 minutes before that I will have this. I'll have a scoop of this, and that's just with water just before the workout. I don't normally go for pre-workout. I'll just have this and then generally have something like a coffee before. So we're getting towards the end of this bag. I think it's 2 scoops of this. So it's all important that obviously you fuel and prepare leading up to the workout, but it's even more important that you do prepare during the workout. Because what you don't want to do is start off your exercise really strong, that you get up there, and then towards the end of the session that you die off because you're running out of energy. So that's why the intra shake is really, really important if you are doing like more of a continuous bout of exercise to fuel that performance. While I am doing the prepping food in the morning, also like to have a coffee after the electrolytes. So that is something that I'll do with that while, which is a nice, easy job to be fair with the Ninja machine. So my choice of milk as well, oat milk, no sugars, that's the one I like to go for. So nice and easy, this machine, it literally does everything for you from the milk froth to the coffee. So set that off, that coffee we're making. And then what we're gonna do now is finish off the mince and drain the mince. So when the mince is done and is cooked, I like to drain that, so any kind of the fat and the oil that's left over can go into a bowl. And then while that's doing, I've got stir-fried veg, so I'll have 100 grams of stir-fried veg. That while the mince is draining, that I will cook that off. As well, the coffee is now complete, so I'll put a little bit of hazelnut syrup in there. With the milk. Some failed latte art. So now that the mince is done, what I'll do is add that back in and then mix that up, cook that off, and then that'll go alongside the potatoes, which are done as well now. So the potatoes have just done. I haven't got any sweet chili sauce with it in it, so I need to pick some of that up and I'll add it to it later. So again, Tupperware. I'll put the potatoes in, and then when they are cooked off, I'll put that in. So that's going to make up all of our kind of meals up to mid-afternoon. So I've got the pre-workout, so into a bag. I've got the glutamine, I've got the whey protein, and then I've got my oats, Cocoa Pops, which will make my breakfast and my post-workout meal, pineapple, fruit, post-workout, and we've got pre-workout, and then we've got obviously our intra shakes, and then the mince. Now that that's cooked off, we'll then go into this meal here, and that will be my kind of lunch, or normally will be my pre-workout meal. So that's going to go into a cool box with these, and then that kind of concludes morning prep for food, and I'll take this with me throughout the day. So meal one is around 8:30 in the morning. So been to the gym for a little bit and then gone for a run. So that's where I'll have the 40 grams of oats, the 100 grams of berries, and then the whey protein shake while I do a little bit of work. So do the run fasted first thing in the morning and then come back and have this. So I just have it with hot water, protein and berries, and obviously a little bit of protein in there. So I have 40 grams of protein that's split across the shake with water and ice and the oats in the morning. So that's kind of meal one, which will set me up for the first couple of hours. So that is the gym complete. So what I have now is the pineapple that I've already eaten. Couldn't film that, had that on the way out of the gym. And then while I'm sat in the car now, I'll have my 100 grams of Cocoa Pops, and I'll also have my whey protein into the Cocoa Pops. So yeah, this is gonna be my post-workout meal alongside the pineapple, and I'm gonna just sit in the car after the gym and then mix it up. So you've got Cocoa Pops and pineapple, and then yeah, that's with my meal post-workout. And that is a round of golf completed. So we'll go back now. We've got 2 more meals to go. So we've got our evening meal, which is sweet chili chicken and rice, or sweet and sour chicken, whatever I decide to have. And then I've got a yogurt kind of skier style bowl to have. So 2 more meals to go. Round of golf done. Couple more hours of work to do when I go back. So just a couple of hours of golf just to split up the day. So next meal of the day we're gonna have tea a little bit later tonight. Sometimes I have this as my last meal, but tonight I'm gonna have it as my second to last meal and put my tea as my last meal of the day. So what it's gonna be is 200 grams of Greek yogurt. So it's the pink one from Aldi, the goat, as I call it with my clients. So we've got that. We've got 20 grams of protein, so I'm going for raspberry white chocolate. And then normally I would have 70% dark chocolate. However, I don't have any left of that today. So I'm just gonna change that fat sauce to peanut butter. So mixing the yogurt in the proteins, it mixes really well. So mixing it together, chucking it all on the floor. And then what I'll do is I've got, I think it's 20 grams of peanut butter is the equivalent of the dark chocolate. And then got 20 grams of granola as well that's in this meal. And then 150 grams of raspberries. So it's quite a thick, stodgy meal. So we've got that, got 20 grams of granola. Peanut butter to replace the dark chocolate that I normally would have. And then got 150 grams of raspberries. I'll give it about 10 minutes before I eat it, just to let the raspberries melt a little bit and mix it in. So this meal definitely keeps me full and will put me on for a couple of hours now while I do some work for the evening before tea. And yet a nice full bowl to have. So leave it about 10-15 minutes and then that'll be my next meal of the day. So final meal of the day, we have got sweet and sour chicken and salad. So we've got chicken breasts, we've got rice. So I've got plain white rice and then salad. So we've got the no sugar sweet and sour sauce. So already weighed out the rice that's going in, and then this is my final meal. So quite an easy meal to finish off, just cooking and seasoning the chicken, and then cooking the rice and adding the sauce. So quite a simple, easy meal to finish off the rest of the day. So now the chicken is seasoned and done, we are gonna add the sauce onto it and cook that off while the rice is just finishing. So I've got 100 grams of this, and that's going to make up the sauce. And then got the rice, so I'm just going to heat that through and then put that together with the rice, and that's going to make up, and then I just bulk it out with a little bit of salad to make up the full meal. And then that is the meal done. So sweet and sour chicken, rice and salad. So that concludes the final meal of the day. Try and have at least 3 or 4 litres of water, and obviously got the intra workout, and that is a day in the life. For myself, who is a hybrid athlete, so quite a lot of food, try and bulk it out, because obviously at the minute, although I'm trying to aim to keep my physique in shape, performance is the main thing, so making sure that I fuel it. So if you have got any questions on any of the food that I've had today, or you're unsure, obviously a rough average for me is around 10 to 15,000 steps, if not more, sometimes 20,000 on a day-to-day basis. So it's important that I'm fueling for that. So any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you next Sunday.